All right. The motion to adjourn having been withdrawn, I'm going to recognize myself for 5 minutes, and then we'll exchange chairs back to Mr. Klein. So let's get back to the questions. Ms. Buteau, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, Congressman.
Good. I want to make sure to say that correctly for you. I want to talk to you a little bit about a May 5th, 2022 request for documents about the Disinformation Governance Board that was reiterated on November 18th, 2022 by then Ranking Member Jordan, and then again on January 17th, 2023 by Chair Jordan. I want to show you a couple of documents up here because we are talking about reasonableness, and I appreciate Mr. Ivey talking about that. He talked about that extensively about we want to be reasonable about what we're doing. So let's take a look at these documents here for a second. This is a redacted document. Can you tell me anything about page 1 on this document that's been produced in response to the request for information on the Disinformation Governance Board?
With respect to redactions, as I've mentioned, the Office of Legislative Affairs works with the Office of General Counsel and the components to determine what material will actually be redacted. Sitting here from this chair right now, I can't speak to the document that is up on the board at this time, but I'd be happy to work with your staff on any specific document production that you have concerns about.
Are you able to tell me anything about any one of these 4 pages? That's page 1, you see there, it's got the heading on it, or page 2, which is the completely blank document. And I want to show pages 3 and 4. If you know anything about these documents at all, are you able to tell me anything at all?
So again, I'd be happy to work with your staff. The redaction process does not occur, in a vacuum, and as part of the accommodations process, we'd be happy to engage. Sitting here right now, I can't look at a whiteboard and speak to what's underneath it.
I know, neither can we. We'd like to know some of the information behind there. So I'm curious, in preparation for your hearing today, did you meet with the Office of Legislative Affairs to talk about the reasoning behind any of the redactions that were made on this or any of the documents?
So anytime we go through a document production process, again, like that trifecta, the Office of Legislative Affairs, which I lead, the Office of General Counsel, and the specific opponents that are impacted work together to make those determinations, and we work collaboratively as a team to determine what to keep within.
I've redacted a whole lot of documents in my career. I don't know that I've ever actually redacted the entire document before. Is this a customary practice for the Department of Homeland Security?
I think that there is long-standing practice in terms of protecting both the attorney-client privilege, PPI, and other law enforcement sensitive information. The Department of Homeland Security is a very large department, and we are uniquely situated.
How long have you been with the Department of Homeland Security?
Since February 27th, 2023, so about 3.5 months.
Oh, you've only been with them 3.5 months?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in your experience in your career, have you dealt with document production before, not just with DHS, but other places?
I spent nearly a decade as a Senate staffer, so I've been on the receiving end, so yeah. I can appreciate the frustration.
So when you were on the receiving end and you saw documents like this, did it frustrate you?
Yes, Congressman, it did.
Yeah, it frustrated you because you really wanted to get some information to understand and hold to account the department that you were talking to, or get some transparency out of the department. Is that right?
I consider the role that I'm in right now the opportunity of a lifetime, and I can appreciate the frustration. I'm committed to working with you and your staff to get you the information you need.
So when can you commit to get me the information on this committee or the staff information about what exactly is behind the veil here?
So with respect to redacted information, it is often a case-by-case basis. In putting a specific timeline, again, I'm happy to connect our staffs and work expeditiously. I can appreciate that you all have been pushing for this information. I am, happy to work for this department and this administration. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, and same to you, because I know if you've been on this side of the dais before, it is frustrating when you ask for documents and you don't get anything. And quite frankly, I think the folks in the committee and the committee itself is being reasonable with respect to this and a lot of other documents, and trying to just understand what went on with respect to the issues surrounding the Disinformation Governance Board. So. How about in the next 2 weeks? Do you think you could look at just this document? Let's just start with that and tell us what's behind the veil and get that information to us.
Thank you, Congressman. I want to be respectful and careful to exactly what that one page is, but I can commit that within the next 2 weeks that our staffs will get that conversation rolling, and we'll roll in the right direction, sir.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm out of time. I'll yield back. We're going to start a second round, or Mr. Klein? All right, we got a second round up. So, Mr. Swalwell, the floor is yours. You have 5 minutes, and unless we got another motion, Mr. Ivy, you got another motion? All right.